Ladies and gentlemen, throughout decades and decades of seeing traders succeed, traders fail, traders grind their wheels where they're doing well and sink south and come back and sink south, and they're just sort of riding the wave, spinning their wheels, unable to get any real traction. Sometimes traders need tough love. This is not coming from a place of belittling. This isn't coming from a place of telling you you need to spend more money if you want to succeed. Quite the contrary. This is coming from somebody who wants nothing more than for you to succeed. You don't have to pay me a single dime if you don't want to. Very simply, sometimes traders need to just hear it the way it is. No sugarcoating, no nonsense, real strategies, real answers that change people's lives. Not the BS answers, which you could tell to anybody. Telling a trader that they're lacking discipline or you need to follow a game plan and here's how you make a game plan and here's how I show you the way I do technical analysis doesn't help you. It would almost be like you missing a free throw shot and then me telling you next time try hitting it. It doesn't work like that. These gurus, unfortunately, if you're failing, do not have a correct way of resonating with you. The power of an educator is to have the ability to have the educator's words resonate with the student or the person trying to learn the information. Unfortunately, we're in a world where the so-called educators are all absolute dipshit imbeciles who cannot resonate one word with you. Now, again, maybe they're doing it for you, but for every one of you, there are 98 others who can't do it. Truth is, only around 2% of traders succeed. I'm the person who's coming out, putting people like myself on the line, people who have been around in the industry for a very long time, and saying, well, why? If I'm so good, if I'm so great, if my P&L is so good, if I'm doing so well as a trader, why aren't you doing well? I could teach you exactly what I'm doing. I could show you exactly what I'm doing. I could show you exactly what my screens look like, my chart layouts, my software layout, what I'm actually pressing, where my eyes are, exactly the way I'm thinking, everything. But why are 98% of traders failing? You see, these so-called educators are giving false titles by the companies who are promoting them. The truth is, as much as these people might be amicable and nice, and maybe you want to have a beer with them one day, the truth is they are absolutely effing useless statistically in bringing you to the next level. But why isn't anybody talking like that? It's easier to just look at people in my position and just put them up on a pedestal. I'll highlight right now, I could highlight probably three, 400 people who would just swear by everything I do, show you numbers that would blow you out of the water, and I would just leave it like that. But what if somebody like me said, well, if 98% of people fail, let's say even do 300 people who would step up and do it. And there's more people behind the scenes who are doing it who wouldn't step up. But let's say there are 300 people who step up and 98% of traders fail. Well, if that is the case, I would need to have 15,000 people inside my service to have the 2% at least willing to step up and talk succeed. And if the number is even smaller than that, well, then there might be more people in my room. There's nowhere close to 30, 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 people or 3,000 people. There's no, I am not there. So, what is it that really makes traders turn the corner? A lot of times you have to explain the same thing 100 times to somebody in a different way. Sometimes you need the information told to you 10 different ways to have one of those ways resonate with you and create a permanent change, something that's going to be literally a tailwind that pushes you towards that next level. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. I could go to sleep. I got to be up early with my kids tomorrow. I don't got to do this shit. I'm not even trying to promote you. Yes, there's a link in the description if you want my free psychology ebook and if you want to be part of T3's #1 trading room. You can go ahead and join. And maybe you're seeing your thing, oh, he's so conceited, #1 trading room. Yes, I have the highest retention rate. I have the largest amount of people. And if you want to take the Pepsi challenge, my members do better than on average than every single other member in any room in the industry. I'll take the Pepsi challenge any day. That's what I consider better. I'm not the best looking. I'm not. I don't have the best smile. I don't always have this dipshit grin on my face. Like I just took a massive dump in the morning, and I'm glad to like finally lose those 10 pounds that I really needed. I just want to come to you as an honest person who doesn't give a shit about being politically correct, doesn't give a shit about trying to talk nice. I only give a shit about your success. So if I can be honest and be myself and take off my guards, and maybe you can do the same, and maybe that will open you up as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and try it here today. And if you guys have, we're going to go through live emails and live questions. We're actually going to go through live questions now. And the beautiful thing about live questions is they're always a generalization. People have what they think are personal problems, but the thing is, thousands of people have these personal problems, so it's not so personal anymore. And that's great news for you because you get to have that information resonate with you. So we're going to start off and um, yeah, we're going to go through emails and questions in the room. If you have a question in the room, go ahead and ask. You could type in enter now if you have a question. And if you see somebody else's question, just wait until I answer the next question, and then we'll move from there. And if there's no live questions in the room at any given time, all I'm going to do is simply, I'm just going to go and I'm going to answer emails. These emails are unfiltered. They are not pre-chosen. They are live. They are raw. You can put me on the spot. You can talk to me about my shit and tell me why you think it stinks or where you're struggling or how you're having a hard time. We can have a real, man to man talk, even if you're a woman. Ding. See? See how nice it is when you finally have a dose of true honesty in your life. Before we continue, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychologist. I don't give investment advice. Read this slide. Guess what? I'm a college dropout. What makes me qualified to do what I do is I actually am the only person in the industry who can boast that I actually help the majority of people in my room. And I base that on simple polling data, which every person could do, and no one does it because they're scared. They're scared, they're shook that if they get the numbers of how many people fail around them, that people would expose them for the useless waste of oxygen in which they are. So there. That's my disclaimer. Okay, let's go right to it. And we're just going to go right into people's questions. Just getting set up right over here. And I had a long day and I'm working, and you know what? I'm here to help you. Again, links are in the description if you're interested. Don't sign up. Don't. Don't join the #1 room, but allow me to help you. Okay? All right. Let's start off. Gaming PC. Myrtle Beach Craigslist. Already I don't like it. Gaming PC computers by owner. Hi, brother. I found a guy outside Myrtle Beach that builds PCs. Do you think this gaming PC will fit my needs? He said he can tweak it to fit our needs. I will see you tonight and tomorrow morning and night. See, because I'm always on. I'm here 7 days a week. That's why he can say I'll see you tonight, tomorrow morning, and night because I'm always here for my members. I'm always here for my family. I'm always here to help the people grow. Just if you're, just random. Okay. So let's go to this website you're talking about here. All right, project variant. All right, here's the problem. All right, so here's the problem with people who build PCs. The odds of you blue screening, in my humble experience with people who build PCs, is like 140%, like the amount of GameStop shares in which we're short, like 140% of the open float. Your chances of blue screening are like 140%. For whatever reason, when you get a PC that's built from someone else, you'll always get better parts for a better bargain. It always happens. I've never seen it where somebody builds a PC and they're always like, "Look, if like I'll show you that PC that they built at Best Buy, and I'll take those parts. I'll give you better parts and more. You can't argue the hardware, right? But there's something known as compatibility, okay? There's something known as compatibility. You might not want to marry the woman who looks like an absolute supermodel because maybe, but just maybe, she's the biggest bitch on the planet. You don't know that. It's not just about what you look, it's about finding the right fit. And what these companies do, like Best Buy and the companies who build the computers for them, like all these gaming companies and whatnot, what they actually do is they actually test the parts that they're compatible with each other. You have to make sure you're compatible with the parts in order for them to work as well as possible. You want to know the funny thing? Speaking of compatibility while we're on the issue, that's the problem with a lot of education these days. They unload all these things. They pretend that you need to understand every aspect of the market, why it'll go up and down at every single moment, that they just have the inability to help you because they are not compatible. These gurus are not compatible with you to help you succeed. In order to be compatible, you have to simplify what is complex as hard as humanly possible. You see, one of the things that Steve Jobs wanted to do is he took an Apple iPod at the time. Remember those? And it was yay big. It was like a big sort of thing. And he's like, I want this to be smaller. And they told him we can't make it smaller. So what he did was a true story. He took the iPod, and he dropped it in a fish tank. And he said, "Come watch." And he dropped the iPod in a fish tank, destroying it. And guess what happened? There were bubbles coming up from the iPod, air from within. And he said, "See, you can make it smaller." The same thing here is taking something complex and making it simpler. You do not ever want to buy a machine from somebody who builds computers unless they do it professionally, and I don't mean they own a store on the corner. I mean like somebody like Puget Systems. I have a built computer from a company, but it's from a company, and they test all the parts, they test the heating, they test the compatibility, they run all these diagnostic tests in which whichever guy you're talking to here on Craigslist is probably not going to do. I would stay so far away from this. Like, holy shit, would I stay far away from this thing? I would not use this computer if this dude paid me. He's asking $749 for the computer. You couldn't pay me, you ready? $74,900 to trade on this computer for a month. If you offered me $74,900 to use this computer, you would pay me to use this computer for a month. I would tell you, no, that's not worth it. I'll lose money. It's not worth the risk. That's what I would tell you. Stay the F away from this. Buy it from a reputable company. I don't care what the cost. Thank you for your email, my brother. Hope that answered your question. Gave you a little bit of my 2 cents there, didn't I? Next email. Did I not copy this correctly? Let's see. Select all, paste. All right, here we go. Um, and then there's some live questions coming into the room, so we'll answer them next. I feel like I could really use some help on exits for news plays like Square today. So if you're wondering what Square was, Morgan Stanley came out and announced a stake in Square. It's called a 13G filing, where these big firms come out and they talk about what kind of stake that they have in the company. So it's called a 13G filing. So Morgan Stanley reported a 6.3% stake in Square today, and we were all over this. And just to give you an example why news flow really is so important, this is what Square did. This is a 1 minute chart, just so we're clear. The news came out right over here. See this volume bar? Square went from 272.63 to 273.84. Now you must sit there and say, all right, you got a $1.20 move in a Square. It's a $200 name, explosive volume. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is I made thousands. I don't have my P&L up in front of my face right now, but I made thousands and thousands of dollars on that because in literally in like a minute because I just literally opened up some option contracts and I limited out of them. So just to give you a little bit of context what this gentleman is referring to, that is what he's referring to. I entered the calls just fine that market, and I entered quickly within 2 seconds of your call out. I could tell that this was a higher conviction play in your voice. Yes, this is a subjective thing, but I've heard enough of them to just feel the difference. Tonality. Okay. Next, my plan was to wait for a pop in the price and then place a limit right below the ask when it really didn't move that much after I entered. I went ahead and placed the limit right below the ask. When you say right below the ask, I'm assuming you mean like 1 cent below because there's sometimes a wide spread between the bids and offers, which would have been a small profit. I was never filled. I moved my limit down a few times. Nothing was ever filled, and I had to mark it with a loss as the stock price started going down hard. I came up with this exit plan after practicing these news plays over the past 2 years and listening to previous Ask Mark discussions on the topic. Now I know that my procedure is flawed, but I'm just not sure how to tweak it. Love everything you do. Thank you so much for being there for us. Okay. Well, very interesting email. He marketed in the options. He's trying to figure out how does he get rid of them. Why would you what kind of greedy shit is putting a limit order 1 cent below a wide spread? I'm just thinking this goes back to your psychology. Now, I'm not saying this isn't going to work in the future, and I'm not telling you that you should do something like this. But for example, if you're sitting there and you see a spread in the calls, I don't know what they were, I'll make it up. Let's say there's 80 cents on the bid, and you see like, you know, $1.20 on the offer. I'm making these numbers up. I don't remember or know which strike he was in, perhaps. So, well, let's say here's the bid. Here's the bid, and right here is the offer. What I'm guessing is he went ahead and said, I'm putting in my offer at $1.19. I'm putting in my offer at $1.19. My point is, when I see this, usually, just for me personally, I'll usually be the person at $1.15, $1.10, $1.08. I'll try to be above the midpoint, but not right at the offer. That's me personally. I can't tell you if it's right or wrong. In a lot of cases, maybe you'd get filled at $1.19. I'm not even saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that was a little bit of greediness based on what you interpreted as a shitty fill. Because you're coming out here and you're saying, you know, look at your reasoning. I went ahead and placed the limit order right below the ask, but look at this point of your sentence here, which would have been a small profit. So already you're calculating where your profit should have been in the trade. When you think about all the non-news flow names, when you're buying in and you're selling, that's never even that's so subjective you don't even know what happens until after the trade is over. So already you're adding in a negative psychological connotation to it because you feel like you're obligated for a profit. When the truth is you are never obligated for a profit, you're just obligated to trade correctly. And by you using that sentence here means you're already psychologically in the wrong place. You're never filled. Well, and I moved my limit down a few times. What does that even mean? Well, I know what it means, but what does that even mean? All right. Did you move them down a penny every time from the best offer? Did you go down 5 cents? Did you go down 10 cents? What was the stock doing as you were dropping the limit order? That's what I mean. Okay. Nothing was ever filled, and I marked it out with a loss. Um, so how to tweak it? All right. So it was a little weird. most of the news flow we have are in 13G filings. I'll give you that. This was more of a unique scenario because the stock opened up, it popped, you had literally enough time for it to pop. My question is, if you weren't at $1 a night, and I'm making up the offer with the spread, have you ever tried going 5 cents below the offer? Have you ever tried literally what I do is, let's say I had, I'll make it easy mathematically. Let's say I had two contracts. I would post, let's say it was 80 cents by $1.20. I would probably throw one out at like $1.10, for example, and I'm generalizing. And I would set a market order to sell the other. So if I post at $1.10 and then I see all the other offers come to $1.10, I'm going to mark it out of half right away because I don't know what the F is going on. Well, I do know what the F is going on. They're not filling me when I want to be filled. I hope that helps you. Um, I hope that helps you with what you are going through. All right, let's see. We have some live questions in the room. And just make sure you guys put a question mark so your question comes up as a question. And let's see. All right. All right. Jeff has a question. Let's see what Jeff has to ask. Mark, could you please explain your thought process for cutting a trade once it goes green? I notice you cut it all at once, partials and sometimes leave runners, leave runners. Thanks. You're asking a very generalized question, but I will explain my thought process, which could lead to different avenues. All right. What is my thoughts of cutting a trade once it goes green? What is the velocity of the stock as it's moving right now green? Is it exploding up? Is it grinding up slowly? What is the market doing at the time? What is the conviction behind the trade? Are there any moving averages above me and it's slow? Is there an A plus trigger nearby? Does it pay to be a little more stubborn? Is there news flow that I think is really amazing and could head this up? Is it just a simple setup? What's going on? That will be my thought process on whether or not I hold or sell. You see, much more of a robust answer than the people in the industry who say put your take profit level up here and put your stop down here. I understand most of you would say that's a much simpler answer, but 98% of people who follow that fail. So that's always my retort to such a, you know, to such a problem and such a question like that. All right, next is coming from Daniel. Daniel has a question right now in chat. If you had a $50,000 account and have a 70% success rate with the C strategies, would you do position sizes of 20 to 50% of your account? I'm currently doing 10% of my account per trade. All right, well, besides for the fact that I can't legally tell you what you should or should not bet per trade, and I know there's some really, really huge imbeciles who like to always insinuate these numbers without knowing your life situation, because generalizing is fun, because you get to sound like a complete and total genius, when in actuality, you're a dipshit who's going to destroy the lives of most of the people around you. So I'm not going to come and say, do 5% of your account or do 10% of your account. Well, what kind of bills do you have? Are you worth $1 billion? Do you have hundreds of millions and you don't really give a shit about this account and what happens to it? What are your investment objectives? What are your thoughts? What do your bills look like? What do you need to live? Like, what kind of money are you holding on the side if this doesn't work? Like, all these things tie into it, and then you still have to make your own decision. Now you're asking me, of course, you're asking me if I had $50,000 account. Well, I'm in a different situation where if I blew a $50,000 account, which I don't think I would in a million years, my guess is if you gave me $50,000 and I was pushing it as hard as what you're insinuating, like 10%, or let's even take this 20 to 50% number here. Like if I had $50,000 and I was pushing 35, a third, which is in the middle between 20 and 50 is 35%, right? So let's say even a third of my account, meaning I'm scalping on like $17,000 worth of options, let's say, on a $50,000 account. And I was 70% success rate on the C strategies. I mean, for me personally, depending on the names you trade, of course, with the names I trade, I mean, I would, my, I'm guessing, I would probably on a smaller account like this probably be up 100 to $150,000 net profit in a month, in my opinion, with what I do personally. I'm talking just my thoughts. I'm making it up. My account's larger than 50,000. That's my guess. That is my guess of where I would be. Um, with all that being said, there's no smart answer for you. You're my, you know, for me, if I had excess money on the side besides for this 50 and I wanted to go Rambo on it, I would do 100% or 50% or an 80% or 90%. Why stop at 20 to 50 if you don't need the money anymore? I'm not going to lose 100% as a generalization. I'm not going to make 100% as a generalization per trade. I'm just scalping it in and out. It's like a caveman sex manual. It's like in out, repeat if necessary, in out, repeat if necessary, and you just keep doing it over and over. Can I do that shit? Yeah, I can do that shit. Can I do that shit well? Yeah, very well. I can't tell you what you should do, unfortunately. All right. Did Active Trader ask a question? I don't see it if he did. Just put a question mark if you have a question, please. I hear what you're saying though, Kim. Let's see what you got. Hey Mark, thanks for everything you do. You actually answered my question yesterday. It was about front running. What I gathered is I should focus more on those asks and the velocity as it approaches the trigger, and to use the trigger pop to sell into. Otherwise, I'm late and the fill isn't great. Am I seeing this correctly? As a generalization, that is what I do, and that's how I see it. Are we not drinking tonight? I am. Fruit smoothie. Um, all right. Next question. Mark into young traders like Steven and Booth. By the way, Booth isn't that young, but it is a good running joke and it will continue. My 6-year-old daughter keeps bugging me to teach her to trade. Any advice on how to start teaching her? We have very young kids, several young kids. We probably, in my guess, have about 20 to 30 people who are 12 years or younger trading in this room. Any advice on how to start teaching her? Um, hmm. Well, I can't legally tell you how you should teach your daughter how to trade. I can tell you that there are very young people that I believe are in this room. I don't think they would lie to me about their age. We have a lot of people who can't legally buy a pack of cigarettes. Okay. And we have a lot of them, and they are here and they make more money than their teachers and principals in some cases, I'm assuming. And I'll just simply say if you decide to put her in a place, we will welcome her in here like family, my brother. All right. Next one, Stan. Try to sharpen exit skills here. In general, what are the factors you are considering before hitting the sell button? Uh, Mostly all the factors before hitting a sell button. Again, same as I said before. What is the market doing? Is it news flow? Are there large triggers nearby? What is my risk? How long is it taking? What is the velocity of the stock? Those are my thoughts. when hitting the sell button. How do you deal with small price surges? Um, there's no way to deal with them. What do you mean if I buy something and my stock goes up in my favor? I don't know. I make myself a cocktail and, I watch a tearjerker chick flick with my wife. It's great when the stock goes up. I don't understand how you deal with small price surges. That's effing awesome, considering you're long, right? Or you deal with small price surge. You mean I buy something, there's a small price surge, like it just goes up a little? Awesome. That's cool. Another question is, if it is near closing time of the entry candle, would you rather exit before the turn of the minute, or does it not really matter? In terms of exiting, that's a good question. It depends. Are you closing the bar strong right underneath an A plus trigger? Are you closing the bar strong underneath a potential target? Is it a Mark 5? Is it a Mark 1? What is the market doing at that exact moment? Is there news behind the play as well? I mean, I the funny thing, again, I'll just tell you the funniest thing about this industry is you always have these gurus, and what they try to do to help people is they try to box you in, like almost like the Russian calls skatini, like skatina, like a farm animal. And what they try to do is they try to teach you like skatini, like it's a derogatory word for it. Derogatory meaning you're calling somebody like a farm animal, and like not a good way. Like, oh, look at the cute chickens. Not like calling a girl a chicken. Like, oh, it's a chick. Oh, she's not like a chicken. No, 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 not like that. Like it's more of a negative term. But what they tried to do is they literally tried to treat you like livestock. They're like, oh, you're a swing trader. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build a box around you. We're going to tell you exactly where to take your money, exactly where to lose your money, exactly the names you should take, exactly the strategies you could take. And before you know it, you're just walking around inside, a pen that smells like shit with like 500 other animals, and 98% of you are going to get slaughtered and eaten, and you don't understand why. You see, my idea is, you know what? Let's break down these barriers. Let's put you in a wide open pasture. You know what? Do what you want. You want to take a dump over there by that tree. You want to go over there. You want to go trotting through the trees. Go right ahead. Be my guest. Go do whatever you want. I break down the barriers. I try to tell you, do what you do best. But how do I do it? Thank you for asking. I'm going to try to help you get there. We're going to go on that journey together. That is our journey. How do you get there? So going back to your point, you're asking, should I exit before the turn? If I was any other guru on Wall Street, I'd be like, well, did your take profit target hit or did your stop loss hit? No. Okay, well then you're in it and it doesn't matter. Like that would be the blanket answer. But that's an answer which fails rounded up to the nearest 100% of traders in the industry. So the right answer is it depends on other factors. What is the market doing? Is there news flow? Is there this? Like I tried to help you with that, and basically I say, okay, I chucked it. Still could go up, maybe it doesn't, maybe it goes down. I got rid of it, and it sort of gives you sort of a feeling, almost like you ever see the like meerkats in the wild? They all poke their head up and they're like looking around like this. They're looking for like lions or any other predators that'll eat them. I basically help you dig your own hole, find your own stuff, and sometimes I'll point out and I'll go like bah, 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 and I'll tell you like basically warn you that something is coming potentially, and I'll throw away my position and sort of gives you that warning ahead of time too. And yes, it's based on a myriad of factors, all that in which I just explained. Moving on. That's a good question. I heard several times you spoke about the whole number. How much does that influence your decision? Which whole number? Is it a whole number that ends in a multitude of 10? Is it like 70, 80, 90, $100, 340, 350? Is it a big number like $100 level, like one, two, three, $400, $500? Again, that all changes. So, in what way? Well, whole numbers that end in 5 or 0, or excuse me, when I end, I mean the actual dollar level, not the cents level. So, like $80 ends in 0, $81 ends in 1. If it ends in a 5 or 0, there tends to be a lot more resistance there because human psychology is to sell a stock there. You're much more likely to get some Robinhood trader who wants to sell their shares at $100 as opposed to $99 or $101. You're more likely to get somebody who wants to sell their shares at $75 as opposed to $77. It's just the way human psychology works with these whole number. So as a result, in my opinion, based on that psychology, you tend to get several you tend to get a lot of volume there. Now, if it's based on a bull flag, that lot of volume there can work in your favor massively because then you might get a bull flag continuation pattern and the algorithms will trigger buys at your trigger right underneath that big whole number. Let's say your whole number is $200 and you might have a trigger at $199.82 based on my methodology where you're going to get an elevation of algorithmic volume and then the $200 level is all of a sudden your friend as opposed to this immovable object. So again, it just depends. And the reason why I talk like this is how you get to the point where you're batting 50% or 40% to a level like 70, 80, or 90%. Like that's to me the discerning factor because so many people they do the same chart pattern over and over and they get confused. If you're looking at a chart pattern, you're probably within the 4357 paradigm, which means you see a bull flag, it works, it fails, it works, it fails, but you don't know because in 43 to 57%, your brain is in chaos. You'd be better off with a strategy batting 20% than 50%. And people are like, that makes no sense. You'll lose more money. At 20%, you know your strategy effing sucks. At 50%, or between 43 to 57%, 7 up or down, you don't know if your strategy sucks. Your mind is in chaos. You think the strategy could work, and it works, and it works, and then it fails, and it fails, and it works, and it works, and it fails, and it fails, and all of a sudden you have no idea that you should even try to even look anywhere else. You're just sort of blinded and mesmerized. So even when these gurus come to you and they're like, bat 2 to 1, bat 3 to 1, and just bat, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 risk reward, and bat 50%, they are literally. Do you realize like how much of a psychological fallacy that is? I'll show you. Don't take my word for it. And don't take whatever I show you now. You know, like going to the American Psychological Association, if you've heard of like Kahneman versus Tversky, they have something called the loss aversion principle, and they're saying people should avoid lotteries, or in my case, how I define trades, which give a 50-50 chance for gains and losses, because the negative repercussions weigh heavier than the positive ones. That's common in Tversky. This is back in 1979. We knew this, yet still, to this day, gurus encourage people to bat 50-50. People who are in charge of helping you get to the next level are psychologically destroying you in an industry in which every single trader that I have ever met will tell you that psychology is the number one aspect of trading, yet they are literally destroying your psychology. If you read more about Kahneman and Tversky, they'll actually say for every time you lose, it's 2.5 times more painful than every time you win. That doesn't mean that you could try to make 2.5 times, you know, the money when you're right as opposed to 1 times when you're wrong, because you'd still be in psychological chaos. In order to grow it consistently, you would probably need to get closer to like 10 to 1 on your wins versus losses if you're batting 50% comfortably. But nobody talks about that. So even with these gurus and they tell you 2 to 1 risk reward, bat 50-50, Common in Tversky says your losses are 2.5 times more painful than your win. Your psychological barrier is just going to keep getting crushed as you continue the strategy. Yet that is the gold standard in the industry. That is why every guru in the industry is bullshit, full of shit, and destroys lives of traders. In my opinion, you don't have to take it. You could make your own conclusion with my data. I'm not trying to force my thoughts down your throat, but I'm telling you exactly why I feel a certain way and what is actually happening to you. You losing money by paying someone money to a guru, you are not the bad trader, ladies and gentlemen. It's the dipshit guru who is a psychological effing imbecile who has not done their homework, in which you entrusted with your money and you got blinded by a number they flashed you on the screen. They show you the good trades. How many of these gurus you spoke to, are sitting there highlighting people struggling in their service? Are they doing full videos like that? Are they doing full videos at night? Or they're making out with their boyfriends, with their feet up on the couch, watching a chick flick, crying, crying, eating, chocolates right now? Like, what are they doing right now to help you? Why do they not understand this? Why do they think that their strategy, in which they bet 50-50 and you could bet 2-1 works, when back in 1979, two, in which my opinion are the most brilliant psychologists in the entire industry, um, basically did a loss aversion principle and, in their own words, completely refuted it? Can you explain that to me? I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. So when you're coming here and you're asking about this, I'm not going to black and white it for you. I'm going to tell you what it is. Now, you might say, Mark, what you said is really complex. I have to take so many things into account to do it. Well, yes, one of the ways that you can overcome this, though, one of the ways you can overcome needing to do all this in real time is to just use a chronological stop as opposed to utilizing all the factors. There are ways to sort of leap step over this. Instead of using your stop loss in based of a dollar amount, whether you make money, this much money, or you lose this much money, if you actually based your stop loss chronologically, and again, I can't legally tell you to do this, I'm just proposing it to you and allowing you to think about it. What if you said, after I buy a stock, if 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes pass, no matter what the F happens, I'm exiting the trade. Have you ever thought about that? Give you something to chew on. Next. All right. Hope that helped. No doubt, Jeff. You got it, brother. Let's see. Next. Mr. Doctor. My family thinks I'm gambling and they want me to stop trading because I lost $30,000 last year. Now I can't focus on trading properly because they keep trying to make me stop. When I try to explain I'm almost profitable, they won't listen. How can I make them understand? All right, again, a very open-ended question. Who is your family? Do you have money in the bank? Are you struggling to pay your bills? Are you in a situation where you could say, look, I have $1 million in my bank, 500,000, 100,000, $10 million. Honey, I could continue doing this for this amount of time without having to worry about our bills. Or is it, look, I'm really a doc because your name is Mr. Doctor. Um, and he's not even in the chat right now. Can you believe that? Um, very simple. Look, I'm not telling you that you should or should not listen to your family. That is up to you to decide. Oh, there you are. You're back. You're back. Um, so 30,000 is a good amount of dollars for you. I am looking at you. I would say, you're saying you're almost profitable, and they want you to stop. It's very hard for people to support traders. Most people think trading is gambling, and guess what? Most people are effing right. Try asking some of the profitable traders in this room, are you gambling? They might think of it differently. So, for you profitable traders in the room right now, how would you answer that? Are you gambling? Are you a gambler when it comes to trading? Do you gamble? I used to be no, no, never. I hate gambling. Hell no, hell no. Sometimes if I tilt, yes, otherwise no. Nope, not anymore. Used to. I'm trying to remove the gambling aspect of it. My system, again, I'll take the Pepsi challenge, is the number one system in the industry. Why? Because when I ask my traders if they're tremendously consistently profitable in a P&L, hold it in a poll, share the poll with the room and the results, this is what it comes up with. Are you finding tremendous P&L consistency with my plays? 3 out of 4 people say yes. Nobody in the industry will get half of that number, probably not even a third. And again, prove me wrong. Ask your guru right now to ask that question. And again, I find that more impressive than me showing you $5 million, $10 million worth of P&L or whatever number you insert here. I would find that, for example, making it up, a lot more impressive. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree that the people around me can succeed? Now, what does that have to do with your success? Nothing. The best way, so many traders have gotten divorced before over trading. That's the effed up thing here. I can't tell you what you need to tell your family. All I could do is say you need to sort of separate them because you say, now I can't focus on trading properly because they keep trying to make me stop. What is it? Are you trading in a room and they just come in running, flailing their arms like, Mr. Doctor, get off the machine right now. I told you not to trade anymore. Is it something like that? Or is it like in the back of your mind, like you're going to get bitched out at the dinner table later tonight because you decided to trade now? So, like, again, very vague questions you're asking me. They say things that mess up your psychology. That is very common. What I would do is this. You make your own decision. I can't tell you what to do. If I was in this situation, this is what I would do. I'd be like, honey, I'm trying to succeed. This is what I'm going to do for now. You want to put a timetable on it? 3 months, 6 months, a year before. If I'm not good by then we can open up and we could discuss whatever you want afterwards. But for now, sweetheart, please, when you talk to me like that, you're effing up my psychology. Psychology, sweetheart, is the number one factor in trading. I have failed before as a trader. Right now, I am in T3's number one trading room in terms of popularity, in terms of consistency, in terms of P&L of the traders, most likely as well, if considering I don't have brokerage accounts to prove it, but I would bet on that if I could. I would gamble on that. So please, honey, this Melnick guy is telling me I need to remain psychologically positive. And if I keep having you in my ear bitching at me, telling me that I can't effing trade when we just discussed that I'm going to have X amount of time to trade, it's going to F me up, and I am going to verbally tear you 17 new ones. So I'm either going to trade with you being calm and relaxed, or I'm not going to trade because you're making me like this. So work it out where you could just literally get to a point, and I'm sure she's a sweet woman. You know what? Just so we're clear, she's only telling you this because she loves you and cares about you and if you have kids or your family, whoever your family involves, or you're taking care of people. That's why she's telling you. It's coming from a good place. So you can't look at her like the bad one here. She doesn't know how to handle it. She's in the back of her mind, you're going to just sit there and blow up and dig them in a hole further, and she's doing everything she can to prevent you from getting there. You understand? So again, she's not coming from a bad place, but at the same time, if this is the decision moving forward, there's no half ass. It's not half I'm in. It's not your foot is in the door. You're either trading and you're all on the same page, or you're not trading and you're all on the same page, but you can't, I'm over here and she's over there. You can't do that. My advice would be to sit down, have a talk, come up with some form of amicable resolution, meet her in the middle. Again, you're in a good place. She's probably a good person. She's coming like any woman who cared and loved her husband would come to you as. I was kidding about tearing her 17 new ones, by the way. The whole point was to just get to a situation where you're very firm and you both come out to a conclusion whether you're trading or not trading. So, for example, you could just very simply say, look, baby, how much time do I have to try this? Can I have X amount of time? If I'm not there yet, fine. We'll discuss whatever you want. I'll go back to my whatever other job you have. Okay? So have that talk with her if you are going to trade. If you're not going to trade, that's your decision as well. Okay? That would be my best advice. I hope that helps. Hope that helps. Did you find that helpful? Did you find it like, I'm not going to rip her 17 new ones like that? I didn't mean it like that, but I half did if you came to the agreement and she continued. Then I guess I did mean it like that, but not initially. Does that make sense? Hope that helped. Say it out of love. I don't know. What does 17 new ones mean? Is what Rose is asking. Um, well, I'm not referring to orifices in which you can release excrement from, but if you come to the point where you agree, no, I give her permission to slap you in the face, by the way. I'm just saying, come to some sort of amicable agreement. You're either going to trade or you're not going to trade. Whatever you decide is what you're going to do. Has nothing to do with me. But if you do decide that and you do agree that you are going to trade, you have to highlight certain ground rules. Don't effing talk to me while I'm trading. Don't effing call me unless it's a life or death emergency while I'm trading. Do you have a place where you could close a door? I mean, I have a place where I could close a door. I mean, that's very important for trading, you know? All right. Let's joking about the 17 new ones. I mean, basically, if you come to the conclusion where you're gonna do it, I hope she supports you. If you come to the conclusion which you both agree not to do it, I hope she supports you. That's what I mean. Um, all right. Let's see. So that was Mr. Doctor. Uh, all right. MASH. Next question. Mash's question is, Mark, how much time data is necessary to officially know and believe that my consistency is legit? It's interesting because the market keeps evolving. It's a good question. How much data is necessary? Once it clicks in, all I can say is it just clicks in and you just know without any data. Once you should, I think it just gets to a point where you make money like every single day, practically, like rounded off in the 90s. It just gets to that point where you're making money. So even when you start making money in the 80% consistent range, like on a daily basis, it gets to the point where you're like, all right, I'm gonna do well, and even if I improve a little from here, it's gonna be awesome. It should get to the point that even on the hardest days, yeah, you might have a losing day. I've had losing day this year already. It's just rare. it's almost surprising. And I think that is the point. So I don't know about the data. Like, I'm not going to make up some bullshit number like after 17 weeks of consistently trading and you're able to rip your account 17 new ones, you know that your consistency is legit. I'm not going to come to you like that, but it just gets to a point where, you know, I'll put it this way. I am so confident in my methodologies. Like, I know I'm going to probably walk in on Monday with almost certainty, as close as I can. I know I'm going to crush a Mark 1 on Monday. And I'm sorry, on Tuesday, because Monday's no trading. See, the next trading day, I'm going to come in on Tuesday, and I know that I'm going to make money on a Mark 1. Like, I feel it in my bones. Are you 100% sure you bet your life on it? No, but I'm going to bet on it for sure. And I know I'm going to make money off a Mark 5. I know I'm going to make money off a Know Your Limit 8. I know I'm going to do that. I know I'll make some money on news flow. And I just have to hope that those wins are more than the losses, which it practically always is as a statistical generalization. And it gets to a point where, like, some of you might be, well, you guys know me already, but if you've never heard me before, you might be sitting here thinking I'm like some cocky schmuck who's coming out like this. And I'm not a cocky schmuck. I just know what I can do. And I know what I can do, most people can do, even more importantly for you listening, in my opinion. In my opinion, right? I don't receive brokerage accounts from everyone to confirm that data. But from what I see, in my opinion, most people can do what I do. And what I can see in my data, in my opinion, most people, 98%, 95%, 94%, 92%, 97% of people cannot do what every single other guru does in the industry, in my experience. Somebody who's been running rooms for 14 years, and it's not to put anyone else down, quite the contrary. I wish these gurus would literally stop and just be honest with themselves. I wish some of these gurus would look in the mirror and say, look, I'm a good trader. I can make X amount of dollars. I'm going to be fine. The majority of my people are getting destroyed by following me. I don't have the ability to help the masses. Or maybe they're helping 10% of the people in the room, 1 out of 10 people. And they're like, the industry is 98% fail. If 10% are still following me at the end of every year, 90% of the people leave, then I'm doing better than the industry average. And maybe then I'm doing something good. And that would be a fair argument, just so we're clear. But I mean, it comes to a point where like your odds of success if you join any other service out there are just uh, so unfathomably low that it borderlines being a scam. And so we're clear, I was one of those people too. For the not at one point, I don't want to sugarcoat bullshit and call it cotton candy. I was like that for the majority of my career. Am I proud of it? Yes. Why? Because it's what I needed to see in order to get people to where they are today. I'm not proud of the fact that I was failing most people. I'm proud of the fact that I looked in the mirror and said, Mark, why the F are you doing this job? And the only answer I was able to come with over the past X amount of years was for a paycheck. Because they pay me to do it. And people sign up for me. And they like signing up for me. They do it. Now, nowadays when I do something, it's for the charities. It's for the charities. It's for the charities. Yeah. I have days where, I'll have a day where I make more than T3 pays me in a month. Like, and it's just like, oh, okay, you know. So why do this? Well, I believe in helping people. What I'm doing right now is not part of my job description. I'm doing it because I want to help you. At the time, I wasn't making more money in a day than T3 could pay me in a month. And T3 is a very good and generous company too. It's just that it just gets to a point where you know, I just believe in the charities at this point, and there's only so much I can do for charity. But if I help 1,000 people become consistently profitable, if I help them become millionaires, and that's my goal, is to turn 100 people into millionaires this year. Then when I bring up a charity, I could do a lot for the charity as opposed to just what I can do. So it's funny over the years how my purpose has changed. My purpose used to be to run this job to make a living, to support myself, a family, and earn a paycheck. Just being honest. And that's why every person does it, by the way. That used to be my purpose. And you might see these people and you're like, well, why do they need it? Why do they need it? They make so much money. Why do they need it? Because that's why they do it. You know, money is money. Why do people work two jobs as opposed to one? For the money, right? But it's interesting to me how, like, my purpose has completely changed as time went on. And now, when my purpose changed, I sort of just took off the filter. I sort of do what I feel I need to do to help people. And that's why you see me working harder. That's why I do more videos. I put in more hours. That's why I do more than everyone in the industry. I put in more hours of content than anyone out there. Fact. Go online. I do content every single day. When you don't see me doing content on the day, I'm doing content privately for the room. That's what I do. And it's a very rewarding job when you see these people coming to you saying, I'm turning into the other day I'm a millionaire. I turned into a millionaire, and like these are good feelings. These make me feel good. All the work and effort I put in, had a purpose. It's a very good feeling. Really is. So that's pretty much what happens. You just start becoming so consistent where like you don't even know what the market's going to throw at you, and you're like, yeah, I'm probably going to make money today. You'll be right almost every time. That would be my answer, Mash. Okay. Well, all right. So here's a trader sharing in the room right now his month of February. Okay. We're going to start from February 1st. $1,847. $12,514, $7,026, $14,580, $18,641, $5,494, $3,000, $2,000, $12,570, $2,672. Those are his 10 trading days. That trader already knows he's already at the point where no, he's not going to make money every single day. And even though I gave you 10 days where he made money, which for the first 10 days of trading days for February, he already knows he's going to make money. He is at that point. All right. So he's up a little over $80,000 for the month right now. He already knows. He already knows he's going to be successful. He has zero doubt in his head. He has zero doubt in his head. When he walks into the market, he's excited. He's calm. He's excited knowing his abilities. He's not excited over the market. He's not excited over, and he's sharing a screenshot right now. He's not excited, and he took a picture of his calendar in which he writes in his P&L. He doesn't know what he's going to make next week. But what do you think the odds that this person is going to make money next week? Who knows? For me, it borderlines 100%. I'm not saying he'll make money every day. I'm not saying he'll have big days, but his odds of making money, in my opinion, I mean, he is in, he's in the top 10,000th of 100,000th of 1%, maybe even more, maybe top millionth of 1% of traders on the planet. You know what he does? What we talk about, right? Pretty good. Keep up the amazing work. And his story is the farthest thing from unique, which makes me really happy too. He's a special person. There's nothing special in this service with his numbers. And that's what I love. Is there a Friday charity? You guys wanna hit up a charity right now? How many of you guys want to hit up a charity right now? Blake's asking. You guys wanna donate some money? You guys wanna donate some money? Okay. F it. Let's hit up a charity right now. I got one. I got one. Here. So the Rothman-Thompson syndrome. This is their daughter. This is their daughter. And our personal goal is to collect $500, one for each person worldwide living with RTS per mile. So there's 500 people. She has a daughter with Rothman-Thompson syndrome. Here's her daughter. This is one of the charities that they did, and what they're doing is they're doing a 5,000 meter, 10,000 meter, or half marathon, which is 12 miles. This is the guy. He's in the flesh and blood community. There's his daughter. It's an absolutely awful, awful disease. They are trying to raise money through research and everything. Here's the research that we gave to before. We are easily responsible for the vast majority of that $8,000 we raised for the last one. So what she wants to do is there's 500 people worldwide, and this is brand new. And so far she raised $60. I think we could fucking crush that. You guys want to crush this shit right now? Want to crush this shit right now? I want to. You don't understand what a powerful, brave woman this is, and God bless her because I don't even know the strongest people I know in the world are women like this who are taking care of their daughter. She's head of the entire organization now, and that's thanks to what we did to bring awareness to it. She was promoted to head of the organization, and the thing is, she says, show you care, support someone rare, because what happens is and that's her daughter, by the way. That is her daughter, and what happens with these diseases is they don't get the same recognition, for example, as like God forbid cancer or God forbid all these other diseases. They don't get the same attention. They don't get the same looks. They don't get the same love. They don't get the same affection. They just simply do not get it because there's too it doesn't matter to the world. It's easier to raise money for other causes when few people suffer, and it leaves these people feeling abandoned, hopeless, like nobody out there gives a shit. And truthfully, nobody out there does give a shit because when you have a rare condition, and I don't know this, and thank God I don't know this, and thank God hopefully most of you don't know this. When you have a rare condition, it's just It's just nobody knows about it. Nobody care. No, nobody. It sounds awful to say nobody cares about it because nobody wants to raise money for something that affects so few people. So what she's doing is she wants $1 for the 500 people on Earth suffering from Rothman-Thompson syndrome, and she wants to do a 13.1 mile walk or run or just finishing somehow. And here is a woman, a mother right here, who's going to go half a marathon, which a marathon I think is a little over 26 miles. So she's doing 13.1 miles and she wants to collect $6,550. You guys ready to hit this shit up? Let's make the world let's blow it up right now. All right? Let's blow it up right now. Right now, guys, everyone, let's blow this shit up right now. Let's blow it up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it on behalf of Newsbeat Live. All right. Any of you guys want to match me? Is anyone pledging to match me? I don't want to make you guys go broke. Oh. Want to match me? I always hide my donations, but do you guys want to blow it up? There's a link. You guys gonna match me? You guys gonna match me? Oof. I mean, I'm not putting your feet to the fire. You guys can give what? No, stop. Like that's not right. I'm effing around. Like you don't have to do that. I mean, you can be serious if you want. All right, all right, all right. We'll hit this up again. All right. We'll hit it up again. I'll start modest, but we're gonna hit it up again like next week. Okay? Look. Simple, simple, simple. $1,000. That's it. Do you guys want to do like 100,000? You guys want to ball like that? If you want to ball like that, I'll ball like that. You guys want to? All right. So we'll start with 1,000. We'll start with 1,000. Okay. We'll start with 1,000. All right. I have to put in my uh yeah. I'm not gonna put in my address online in just one moment. I'm doing $1,000. Hold on. I'm doing it modest, but I promise I'm gonna hit it again. All right. Processing fee. What the serious? A processing fee? $40 to give 1,000? 4%? Whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm just saying. Like I'd rather. Whatever. I'm doing it. Race on donation of. Hold on. Donate. Hold on. I have to do it again. $1,000 on behalf of Newsbeat Live. Let's show them that we care. $1,000. Here's my name. Here's my information. Here's my credit card. And that's it. All right. All right. Let's confirm donation. All right. Raise, thank you for your donation. I think I donated twice. Yep. So I donated $2,000. Donated $2,000. Okay. and I'll still hit him up next week. So I did $2,000. Nice. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for donating. Really appreciate it. I did 2,000, so I did the two 1,000 donation dollars here are mine. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate everyone's donation. A bunch of anonymous donations coming in now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Love you guys. All right. Um, there goes the answer to you, Blake. Got a nice little charity thing going. And yeah. Uh, you trade my account. Um, next email. Mark, what would you do if you buy to open a call on SSE, but they give you a put instead? Talked to Schwab. They said since you took away verification, they can't do anything. Um, I've never seen that happen in my life unless you literally had it set where you had a put even if it was in the wrong box. I have never heard of anything like that in my life. I don't even know what to say. Maybe if I was in the situation, I'd probably just swallow a loss. That's what I would do. Can I turn my output volume up? Sure. Anyone want to post a YouTube video for him? All right, Jared. Hey Mark, any advice on how to grow from a point where I'm under PDT and I'm unable to watch the markets all day? I can't legally tell you what to do here. My personal opinion, what I've seen work best is when you actually, um, my opinion is on what works best is when you actually, what works best is when you actually, trade the morning. I would look for some early mark ones. See, it depends when you could work. If you could work for the first half hour or hour, That's where I would focus. So it depends on when you say I'm unable to watch the markets all day, what does that mean? Can you trade the morning? Because if you could trade the morning, I think for myself personally, for myself, I would be in good shape. Um, Truth is, I've been making a lot of money after 11 recently too, but I also make like a lot of money before 11. Like today, I made most of my money by 11 o'clock. By 10:30, I probably made most of my money today. Still did well in the afternoon, but mm, you're donating to charity. They're not keeping that processing fee. I am not drinking the matcha tea. All right. So, let's go to the next email. Hey, Mark, I need. Oh, that was. Hi, Mark. My commissions amount versus total profit is high. Suggest I'm overtrading. I pay 45 cents a contract. I hyperscalp and don't hold as long as some. So my profits and losses are usually smaller, so maybe that is why. But what do I do? Is it just the name of the game, basically, cost of doing business? You could try to fight for a better commission price. With Schwab, you could try to get down to 20 cents, 25, 30 cents. Give them a call. Give it a shot. All right, let's go through one more email, and there's still more to go, but I'll finish it tomorrow. Mark, just a quick update since you're asking for things we do right. Every Wednesday until last week was down, way down in some cases. I was having huge days and would lose huge also. Last week through this Monday, I had 4 down days. I stopped the craziness, quit trying to fight the bad system in the first few minutes, followed your lead on trades, quit chasing Amazon and Tesla up and down, and I've had 3 small plus days, including yesterday, a Wednesday. Things were getting crazy in my trading. 400 trades a day plus toxicity were really making me uneasy. I started I started over I started over, comma, tried to remember what I did when $500 a day was my goal, when just trading well, win or lose was my goal. Trading calmly and not chasing, and it's working. Thank you, Mark. Everything you've said over the last year is kicking in when I needed to refocus. Just have to maintain my head and take the small winning days. It'll come in time. Thanks. You're welcome. And on that note, I just want to show you something. Like what do I say every morning? Like I'm even going to show you the tweet I said from this morning. Look at it. Good morning, bandits. 9 stocks I'm watching. Look at my words. Let's remain relaxed and focused. News flow is king. Very simple. Let's remain relaxed. Let's remain focused. Look at what you're saying. Calmly, not chasing. It's working. The trick is, can you do that every single day? And if your answer is yes, I think you're going to be a lot happier and in a better place. With that being said, if you've lasted this long, you must have enjoyed our content. I want to thank you for joining us here tonight. It was a pleasure serving you as always. If you are interested in what we do here, there are links in the description. If you are interested in somebody who fights for you every single day humanly possible that I can to humanly fight for you to get to the point of where you need to go, there are links in the description to join our service. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up if you enjoyed it. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat live trading.